Hey guys, it's Rich with your Monday spot on the Pagan Perspective. This week we're talking about elders. This week's topic comes from Corey, and there's a little clarification thrown in there that Corey and Cara had together. So go ahead and read all that below. It is quite extensive, so I'm not going to be reading it all. Basically, the topic question was to pretty much discuss elders and what we think of an elder, or do we have people that we consider elders? Where do they come from, stuff like that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the topic. So basically, for me, what I consider an elder is anybody that I learn my craft from or my practice from. And this differs in the way of a teacher, because a teacher basically says, here's the information that you can regurgitate at any time, and there will be a test. To me, an elder is somebody that teaches me not only what their practice entails or what their tradition entails, but also encourages me to find my own meaning behind that, or to either go with it or not go with it. It's not necessarily something that always fits for somebody else, so if they're teaching something that does not fit for me, they are the people that will say, hey, go and do it your way, because ultimately, it is your practice, it is your craft, you do it as you will. So with that being said, I have a ton of people that I would consider elders in the craft. Now, these don't have to be older, they can be younger than me, they can be older than me, they can be the same age as me. They don't have to be from a specific tradition. They can teach from any tradition, and me being somebody that pretty much puts together their own practice, their own craft from multiple walks of life, I don't necessarily see it as them having to be from one tradition or another. So for me, I have a ton of elders. These range from people like Silver Ravenwolf in my early days, and even still referenced to nowadays from time to time. Scott Cunningham, who is, I think for most people who practice Wicca, would probably consider him an elder in the craft. Ray Buckland, people like that, and there are many others. I have Christian Day on my bookshelf, I have Raven Grimassi, I have Richard Webster is a good one, especially if you're starting out. His work is one that is pretty much in bite-sized material that you can read, understand, and it's very easy to understand is probably the best way that I can say it. So there are some book elders that I have, and then there are people in my personal life, like my friend Carol, who used to own the local witchy shop in Kansas. There's a friend of mine, Kelly, who I've learned from, not necessarily as a elder student teaching type of way. She is about the same age as me, but has kind of pushed me in the way of, hey, this is what I think of this situation. Somebody to bounce ideas off of. And then there are people who I've met through YouTube. I don't know if Evan is younger than I am. I think he might be a year or two younger than I am. I know he's not far behind me. And I consider him an elder, especially whenever it comes to theological basis and thoughts on Christianity and how it's evolved in the world. And I would consider him an elder to my practice. I definitely consider Cara, who I know is not older than I am, but has definitely been an elder in my practice whenever it comes to, hey, you do you, boo. And has been somebody that has been able to guide me one way or another whenever I have a question about something that's just on the personal side. Hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And also somebody that I can definitely lean on if I have trouble deciphering something or getting over something that may be in my own, like whenever I get my head in my own way. Whenever I try to wrap my head around something and my head's in the way type thing. Cara is usually there to, hey, let's unravel this, and this is what I think about this. She's especially been helpful whenever discussing the political situation too. So somebody that's always informed, or seems to be always informed, has a level head on her shoulders, and somebody that I can look up to as somebody that knows their stuff. Definitely Cara. Also, one of the ones, in fact probably the one, who has actually brought me to YouTube and making videos in the first place. So yeah, I would definitely consider Cara an elder. Like I said, these elders don't have to be older than you, they can be younger than you, so that fits the bill for that one. And as you guys know, one of the former hosts of the Pagan Perspective and a personal friend of mine, Annie, I've mentioned her plenty of times on my personal channel and on here. I have learned a ton from Annie, and I can't tell you how important that relationship has been to me. And then there are those YouTubers out there who I don't necessarily interact with on the personal level, however, have strengthened my practice in substantial ways. A couple of those are Ember Honey Raven and the Lady Grave Dancer. Tequila and Ember, wonderful, wonderful individuals, and I would love to get to know them more. Also, Sunshine Morning Ray is a wonderful person overall, and I've learned a lot from all three of these influential witches, I guess would be the best way to classify them. So it can be somebody that's influential. It can be somebody that teaches you through a book. They can teach you through a video, or they can teach you through a blog, a website somewhere, or they can teach you face to face. And that's what I really want to hit home, what my definition of an elder is. It's not necessarily somebody that has a certain tradition, doesn't necessarily have a certain way of practicing. It's somebody that, to me, is a step beyond the teacher. Somebody that goes beyond teaching you, okay, this is what this means, and then they go away. An elder is somebody who is there to help you through something whenever you need that inspiration, when you need that little push. I've talked on my personal channel, Tequila, watching one of her videos, gave me a little bit of that and I can't thank her enough that kick in the butt is exactly what I needed. So, that is what I would consider an elder, somebody that kind of pushes you to do your workings, your practice, your magic. And not only that, like with Annie, somebody that empowers me and pushes me constantly to think, what does this mean for me? What is the underlying meaning that it has for me? And does that fit into my personal cosmology? So for me, that's what an elder is. I don't think I can say much more on the subject. Like I said, a lot of books, a lot of people out there that constantly challenge my way of thinking and push me to be my best self. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I will see you next week, and until then, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye.